Did you know that almost 40% of dogs experience severe fear during thunderstorms? This is not just mild anxiety. For many pets, a thunderstorm becomes a real ordeal, causing panic attacks and deep stress. Today, we will examine why our four-legged friends react this way to thunderstorms, and most importantly, how we can help them survive these frightening moments. This information can radically change the quality of life of your pet and strengthen your bond with them. When the sky darkens and the first thunderclaps sound, many dog owners notice how their usually brave and confident pets turn into trembling bundles of fear. They hide under the bed, huddle in a corner, or desperately try to be closer to their owner. These are not whims or manipulation attempts. This is real fear that has deep biological and psychological roots. Let's start by understanding what exactly scares dogs during a thunderstorm. Contrary to popular belief, it's not just about loud sounds. Dogs perceive the world differently than we do, and a thunderstorm for them is a complex phenomenon affecting several senses at once. The first and most obvious factor is sound. Dogs' hearing is much sharper than human hearing. They can detect sounds in a range up to 65,000 hertz, while humans hear a maximum of up to 20,000. This means that thunderclaps sound much louder and more intense for a dog than for us. Imagine someone suddenly turning music on at full volume right above your ear. That's approximately how a dog perceives thunder. But sound is just the beginning of the story. Research shows that dogs can sense changes in atmospheric pressure that precede a storm. These changes cause discomfort and anxiety long before we humans notice signs of approaching bad weather. This is why your pet may start showing anxiety even with a clear sky. It already feels the approaching storm. The third factor is static electricity. During a thunderstorm, the air becomes saturated with electrical charges that can accumulate in the dog's fur. This creates unpleasant sensations, similar to light tingling throughout the body. For some dogs, this becomes an additional source of stress, intensifying the overall anxiety. Interesting fact: studies conducted at the University of Pennsylvania showed that dogs with long fur often react more strongly to thunderstorms precisely because of greater accumulation of static electricity. This explains why, for example, border collies or golden retrievers may be more prone to fear of thunderstorms than short-haired breeds. Have you ever noticed that dogs often hide in the bathroom or climb into the shower during a thunderstorm? This is not a coincidence. Instinctively, they look for places with less static electricity and which can serve as a kind of screen from electromagnetic fields. Ceramic tiles, metal pipes, and grounded surfaces create a more comfortable environment for the pet during a thunderstorm. The fourth factor is the bright flashes of lightning. Dogs perceive light differently than humans, and sudden bright flashes can cause disorientation and fear in them. Imagine you are in a dark room and someone constantly and unpredictably turns on and off a very bright light. This is the effect that lightning creates for a dog's perception. But why do some dogs react calmly to thunderstorms while others panic? Both genetic factors and the pet's personal experience play a role here. Research shows that fear of thunderstorms can be inherited. If the dog's parents were fearful, there's a likelihood that the puppies will inherit this trait. Early experience is equally important. If a puppy experienced a severe thunderstorm during a particularly vulnerable developmental period, between 8 and 16 weeks of life, this can form a persistent phobia for life. Interestingly, dogs from shelters more often suffer from fear of thunderstorms, perhaps because at an early age they did not receive sufficient support and protection from humans in stressful situations. Age also plays a role. Over the years, many dogs become more sensitive to thunderstorms. This is related both to age-related changes in the nervous system and the accumulation of negative experiences. Each thunderstorm experienced in fear strengthens the association between this phenomenon and discomfort. making the reaction to the next thunderstorm even more intense. Now that we understand the causes of fear, let's talk about how to help our four-legged friends. It's important to note that there is no universal solution. Each dog is unique, and what helps one may be useless for another. However, there are several proven strategies worth trying. The first, and perhaps most important, is creating a safe haven. Dogs are territorial animals, and having their own protected space is critically important for their psychological comfort. An ideal refuge can be a crate covered with a thick blanket or a special indoor doghouse. The main thing is that this place should be accessible to the dog at any time and associated with safety and comfort. An interesting approach recommended by modern veterinary behaviorists is to prepare such a refuge in advance in a room without windows or with thick curtains to minimize the impact of lightning flashes. You can add the dog's favorite toys, a bed with your scent, and even turn on quiet, calming music that will help mask the sounds of the thunderstorm. The second effective method is desensitization and counterconditioning. This is a scientifically based approach that helps the dog gradually get used to frightening stimuli and form new positive associations. The process begins with playing recordings of thunderstorms at a very low volume, so quietly that the dog shows no concern. During listening, the pet is treated with favorite delicacies, played with, or engaged in other pleasant activities. Gradually, very slowly, the volume is increased, always staying within the dog's comfort zone. This method requires patience. A full course of desensitization can take from several weeks to several months, but the results are often worth the effort. It's important to note that such work is best conducted under the guidance of a professional dog trainer or veterinary behaviorist. The third approach is using special clothing and accessories. Compression vests, such as Thundershirt, work on the principle of deep pressure. They exert light, even pressure on the dog's body, which has a calming effect similar to hugs for humans. Research shows that such vests can reduce heart rate and stress hormone levels in dogs during thunderstorms. There are also special headphones for dogs that muffle loud sounds and goggles for protection from bright light. Although not all dogs are willing to wear such accessories, for some, they become a real salvation. It's important to accustom the pet to the new wardrobe item in advance, starting with short sessions in a calm environment and gradually increasing the wearing time. The fourth method is pharmacological support. In cases of severe phobia, when behavioral methods do not give sufficient effect, a veterinarian may recommend medication. Modern veterinary medicine offers a wide range of drugs, from mild sedatives to specific anxiolytics designed specifically for treating anxiety disorders in animals. It's important to understand that medications do not solve the problem completely, but can significantly reduce the intensity of fear, making the dog more receptive to behavioral therapy. Self-medication is unacceptable. Only a veterinarian can select the appropriate drug and dosage, taking into account the health characteristics, age, and weight of your pet. The fifth approach is natural calming remedies. For dogs with mild to moderate anxiety, pheromone diffusers that mimic the calming pheromones of a mother dog, dietary supplements with L-theanine or tryptophan, and essential oils of lavender or chamomile, used with great caution and only in special diffusers for animals, may be effective. A study published in the journal Applied Animal Behavior Science showed that classical music can reduce stress levels in dogs during thunderstorms. Pieces by Bach and Mozart, played at medium volume, proved particularly effective. This is a simple and accessible method that can be combined with other approaches. What should absolutely not be done when a dog is afraid of thunderstorms? Never punish the pet for showing fear, and don't try to toughen its character by forcibly exposing it to frightening factors. Such an approach will only worsen the problem and can seriously undermine the dog's trust in you. Also avoid excessive consoling and pity. This may unintentionally reinforce anxious behavior. It's better to maintain calm, confident behavior, showing the dog by your example that there's nothing to fear. Continue normal household activities, speak to the pet in a normal tone, and offer positive interaction, but don't impose it. Special attention should be paid to puppies and young dogs. Proper socialization at an early age, including positive familiarization with various sounds, can significantly reduce the likelihood of developing phobias in the future. There are special audio recordings for puppies containing sounds of thunderstorms, fireworks, city noise, and other potentially frightening phenomena that help build resilience to stress. Remember that working with fear is a marathon, not a sprint. Be patient and consistent. Don't expect instant results. Even small progress is already a victory that should be noted and reinforced. To summarize, it can be said that dogs' fear of thunderstorms is a complex phenomenon, conditioned by both physiological and psychological factors. Acute hearing, sensitivity to pressure changes, discomfort from static electricity, and bright flashes of light create a real storm of sensory stimuli for the dog, causing a natural fear response. You can help your pet in different ways, creating a safe haven, gradual desensitization, using special clothing and accessories, pharmacological support under veterinary supervision, and applying natural calming remedies. A combination of these approaches, adapted to the individual characteristics of your dog, can significantly improve the pet's quality of life and free it from agonizing fear. How does your dog react to thunderstorms? What methods have you already tried, and what proved most effective for your particular pet? Share your experience in the comments. Perhaps your story will help other owners facing a similar problem. If you liked this video and found the information useful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Click the bell to not miss new episodes about the behavior and psychology of our four-legged friends. Share this video with dog owner friends. Together, we can make our pets' lives happier and more comfortable. In the next episode, we will touch on an equally interesting topic related to the emotional world of dogs, which will surely surprise many of you. In the meantime, remember, understanding is the first step to solving any problem. Observe, learn, and be there for your four-legged friend in difficult times. For in the world of dogs, there is nothing more important than a faithful human shoulder to lean on when thunder rumbles.